So this is me playing Sky Strikers with the new format, played out, and quite frankly, I like this list. This is Jeff Jones' list that he placed on here. So I going first against this guy named Lin786, and I just have a really good hand here to do all of my shenanigans. And I go ahead, grab myself multi-roll with the engage. After that, activate it, summon the ray, target with the area 0. Target the Ray chain for the Kagari so I can get any cards really that I can get in my hand to get myself started. But I see myself not in a good old position. I have the impermanence, I have 2 drones, and then the engage. I'm getting up this Kagari, but that's really it. So I go ahead, get myself a Widow Anchor, get myself 2 negates, set 1 drone only. Decided to keep the other one in hand just in case. Go for the Shizuku and add myself an afterburner, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I do. And then from there, is all to my opponent's turn. Playing a lot of cards in hand, I don't necessarily know until he summons this. Then I'm like, okay, I'm playing against Crusadia. So, um, especially the thing that made it apparent was when he wanted it in this general direction in front of his Equimax later on. And I try to Widow Anchor this, forgetting that I have Kaiju on the field. But I'm like, you know what? He lets me know. I'm like, yeah, you're damn right. So I go ahead for the Infinite Impermanence on the Regulex. Maybe I should have just activated the Impermanence there. Not like it made much of a difference at the end of the day, but I felt like I was still in a good spot. I didn't think he could OTK me because I didn't see the guy that does double damage or the lion. The lion really didn't matter at this point. It was just the double damage that really was the thing that I'm scared about. And he goes ahead, get rid of my Widow Anchor, and then summons the World Legacy card. That card is pretty nice. It negates extra deck. So if I was playing Crusadia, I'll definitely have that. Maybe at a 3 of, who knows. And right there, I take 4k to the face. He gains 24 from the Humongous and then an extra 2,000. So that's 4,000 right there. So over here, I ripped the Jamming Waves. And I know that he might negate it with the Equimax. So I'm thinking about this and how I want to approach it. And I decided to just go for the Jamming Waves first, you know. Oh, never mind. I go for the area 0 targeting the Hornet drones. He doesn't do anything about it, so I'm like, cool. I'll add Eagle Booster. That seems fine. No other hand traps, sadly. But after that, then that's when I go for Jamming Waves, and it seems that he didn't want to lose it whatsoever. So bait it out, which is nice. Then I get Afterburner and destroy the 2 monsters. He calls my Kagari. I'm like, okay, that's cool. No big trouble there. I'm just going to set up a board that I can, at the very least, to just, attack this man. Didn't go for the multi-roll. Maybe I should have. I would have had some extra damage, but I wanted to be able to activate my cards the following turn, so, it was whatever. End phase, I set 3, and then I pass, and search with Shizuku to make sure that I can have a good chance next turn. And then we go to deciding. I don't think I cited anything except for maybe Mind Crush. I'm not exactly sure. I don't even think I cited it in at all. So we just go on here. The shared right is main deck. Again, this is Jeff Jones's list from the UDS. And yeah, I just go ahead, make some plays, target my set, and see the Hercules base, which you don't want to really see early on. And I had to sacrifice my card for that. But I was like, that's fine, I'll just go ahead, get my Ray, get back that card, and then search myself and engage with the Shizuku at the end of this turn. And set those cards, Shizuku search, boom, we in there. And he goes on, proceeds to his turn, and it's the same thing again. I guess they really like this card right here. I Ash his Crusadia Macas just to bait out the call, and then I get to shit right. So that's nice. get a couple of draws, but the ogre right there off the draw really saved my ass. So go ahead, activate multi-role targeting the Hercules base, but what I should have done is targeted the Humongous, and I decided, okay, well, I'm gonna have to get lucky off of this airspace, and I do. So able to throw that card away, jamming waves, destroy all three cards, and then he just scoops it up from there. And I'd say that was a pretty good old duel in general. Now, the other game that I did was against this guy, and I would apologize for the words that I used, but this guy just made me mad. Nothing is more upsetting to me than when you don't declare your effects and what you want to activate. Because if your opponent has a response, then you can't just expect him to just say, hey, like, let me just do this. It's super asinine, and that's what this guy did. So, again, playing Pure, I thought I was playing against a mirror match. If I played against a mirror match, it probably would have been a lot tougher, but it was not. It was Invoked Mech Knight Sky Striker, which seems odd to me. Just in general. Too cloggy in my opinion. So I go spell his Kagari, and then the Purple Nightfall, he targets himself as a prerequisite, and I was gonna ogre, but he decides to just go on, and I'm like, hey, like what the fuck? Don't do that shit. Like you better just like declare your effects and do everything right. That made me so upset. But here I go. He links up with the Alistair and that to make Alistair, and then he goes make Makaba, ends off with a Shizuku, adds afterburners, and I'm like, okay, so my main priority is to bait out this Mekaba, right? I know he has a monster being Alistair, and he has a spell being afterburner. So he has a negate for at least a spell. And I'm like, okay, I need to see what my options are at the end of the day. In the grave, I only have 2 hand traps, no other spells. So I'm like, okay, well, let's just continue on. And I think I make the green to attack, get some damage off, so I could ship down and engage. Whether he negated the that or not, it didn't matter. All I wanted to do was bait Mekaba in general, and I send the engage Kagari to grab the engage. And he waits to hit the engage that I added so he could banish it and I wouldn't have another access to it. But it's cool though. I had another one in hand. I have myself a Widow Anchor. And then I just proceed to set these 3 cards, make Shizuku, and face search for... Well, I don't remember what. Afterburner? Okay. Shizuku, search for Afterburner, and then pass. So, here we go. It's his turn. I have 2 spells engraved. He has 4. He's about to get like 5 or 6 rather soon. So I go ahead and share the ride. He negates, and I'm like, okay, Widow Anchor. I went minus, but I don't know. I was expecting him to get more cards, which never happened. So goes ahead, makes the Purgatorio, has Mekaba, but I know that this has no. This isn't game just because of Shizuku. Now I could have mitigated more damage by going for the Hornet drones, but it still would have been destroyed by battle, and I wanted to get my Kagari search to get that back. So I decided, should I just take the damage? And at the end of the day, I decided to actually take it. 18 life points left. Go ahead, special the token during the end phase, and then I drew into the other one anyways. So go ahead for the Kagari to add back my engage. He lets it go through, and he has no negation, so I just destroy the Mekaba and his set. From there, I go for the engage, and I was gonna go Widow Anchor, link it off, destroy, whatever. And he decides to go on to the second round. So right here, I have cherries, and on his thing right here, I decide to cherries on the resolution for Kagari, so I don't get mine potentially banished. I go for my terraforming for the area 0. He ends up having no responses at all, so maybe he doesn't play hand traps. Who knows? I'm fine with it. I'm not bashing on that. So go ahead, multi-roll, send that, can respond, attack, send the engage, make Kagari, add myself the engage. Now I have 2 engages in hand. Add the first one to add Widow Anchor. Second one, add another anchor, and I draw into the Afterburner, which is a very nice feeling. End phase, Shizuku, search for the shard cannon, and then right here, I shard cannon on the end phase to banish his Alistair, and then off with the multi-roll, set that shard cannon back, because the last thing that I want is, I don't want him to summon any invoked monsters. I'm like, screw you, you pissed me off earlier, I'm just gonna outplay you throughout this entire turn, or entire game, and just beat you. That's what I wanted. You hear those claps? Giving him the work, okay? I'm not the best Yu-Gi-Oh player ever. Definitely not in Texas. Definitely not in my city. But I'm definitely going to outplay anybody else in any other state other than maybe California and Florida. Top 3, just saying. Screw Canada. Should not have won that this year, but whatever. Texas, you disappointed me. I disappointed me. So he goes on and decides to summon his Jesus Christ, I don't even know. Nightfall. I go for the shared ride, and he asks that. So I'm like, okay, cool. Go ahead, make your plays. Magnite Blue Sky gets added, and then he special summons it so he can what does he go for here? He goes Shizuku or Hayate. There you go. I'm like, okay, that's fine. Special summons the Magnite Blue Sky, and now here is what I didn't want to do. I didn't want him to get any Magnite cards, and seeing as I have 2 Widow Anchors here, I think it makes sense in general that I would want to stop that. Looking at my grave, I have 5 spells. I have 5 spells, so he's at 15, and I have more than enough to add that monster to my side of the field with Widow Anchor. But I decided no, I really don't want it. I don't think I want that card. So I decided to use that, and I'm like, no, take it back. Like, I don't want that card. At this point, I take the Alistair and negate its effects with my other Widow Anchor. That way, if he has Invocation in the hand, he just won't be able to do nothing with it. At this point, I have 7 spells, so he's at 13. He can only attack over the Alistair. And then Hayate, yeah, he can attack directly, but he gains nothing from it because his Kakaris are banished. So he just decides to attack with the Magnite, Destroy. Oh, and if you're wondering why I activated the one right to the left of multi-roll, is because I didn't want him to summon another Magnite potentially. That's what I'm assuming he was going to do regardless. Then I did the one on the right. So yeah, main phase 2, he ends up actually having the Invocation. And I was like, well, it doesn't say I can respond, it just says I can negate a fusion summon, and the fusion summon monster can't be like bottomless, so I decided to make a shard cannon, the Alistair, and from there he scoops it up. Good game, Dark Honest, 336, even though you pissed me off, but I had to let you know, like, let's go all the way up. Yeah, had to let you know, saying that my 400 rating ain't anything. I don't care about your rating on Duelingbook. If I say I'm better than you, I'm going to beat you, alright? So yeah. Thanks for watching this. This deck is insane. I really love it. I really like the mechanics of Sky Strikers, and Jesus, is it fun. The hand traps in here are perfect for the deck, and I wouldn't really have it any other way. Definitely play pure for next format if you're looking to play competitive, and if you're looking to just play for fun, I suggest the Invoked build of Sky Striker. If you have the budget for it. Thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mr. Bullen on the channel, and shoot, if you like it, subscribe, put on that notification bell. Can we hit 50 children tonight? Smash that like button, alright? Thank you guys for watching. Peace.